Believe it or not, today marks 1 year since police arrested East Area rapist and Golden State killer suspect Joseph DeAngelo. He's now in jail waiting for his trial, and we've learned a lot about this case in just the last year. Here's the backstory. Last year, police arrested DeAngelo at his Citrus Heights home. Investigators used DNA to connect him to 13 murders and more than 50 rapes across California in the 70s and 80s. It was a brutal crime spree with no leads for decades. Sacramento District Attorney Anne-Marie Schubert is leading the case against him. Earlier this month, we found out prosecutors are going to seek the death penalty. And keep in mind, DeAngelo has not even entered a plea yet. Now, Daniela Pardo is here with me now because there is still a lot more to come in this case. The trial hasn't even started yet. There's so much evidence, and 6 different counties have to work together on it. It's like the ultimate group project, and it will not come cheap. Daniela, do we know how soon this trial could start and just how much money we're talking here?
You know, I think that's what a lot of us want to know, a lot of us who are following this case, but we still don't know when. I talked to the DA's office today, and I asked for an estimated timeline. They couldn't give me one. They couldn't even say a year or 2 years. You have to remember, we're talking about 40 years worth of evidence, and they're expecting to call more than 200 witnesses for this trial. Now, what we do know is that the county so far is roughly estimating it for it to be more than $20 million, and that does include DeAngelo's prosecution and defense.
Now, the interesting thing is, I know that you were saying there's a local assembly member that's trying to pass some legislation that would figure out a way for counties to get, what, reimbursed for that money?
That's right. That's Assembly Member Jim Cooper. He represents Elk Grove, Galt, and Lodi. And that bill that he's trying to pass, it was heard by the Assembly Committee, a local government today. It passed that, but it still has a way to go before it makes its way to the Senate.
Now, I know the other thing is you've had a chance to speak to some of the alleged victims' families, and I just can't imagine what this experience is like for them.
Absolutely. Over the last year, I've met several of them, and what this year has brought for them is not just closure, but it's brought a sisterhood of them together. So every time that they meet, one of them told me today, I talked to her on the phone, and she said, yeah, every time that there's a trial, we get together at someone's house, and they've been able to just be there for each other.
So then the next question is, do we know what happens next? Is there a kind of a roadmap of what to expect?
All we know right now is that his next court appearance is in August, but again, we still just don't know when it's going to go to trial at this point.
Something I know we'll be following, you're going to stay on top of.
That's right.
Daniela Pardo, thank you.